Victoria Deanne peptide line is going to be our next discussion. So in your little package, you might have got a sample of Lift, Tone, Eye, and the Medium Rejuvenator. When we do this, we're only going to put one on at a time. And that's very important. Steph, do you want to tell them why it's important to only put one on at a time?
Sure. I use the analogy of emails. If we get 5 emails at one time, can we process all the information that's contained in those in one glance? The answer is no. We have to read them individually, one at a time. So that's what we're doing with our peptides. We're putting the message into our skin one at a time so that the body has time to process what we're trying to tell it. It can do more than one function. We just need to give it time to process what we've asked it to do. So we layer those peptides on, giving them each a second to soak in and deliver the message to the cells.
This is what the kit actually looks like, and then your samples would have been like this. Okay, so look at that. Andrea added a little bit of how to take and apply to the skin. So Steph, I'm gonna let you tell them step 1.
Okay, sure. We'll start with the Pepti Lift. The lift is going to be for, it's basically going to, what I really enjoy about the Victoria Deanne products is all the products, the name of them is very descriptive of what that serum is going to do, what that specific messenger is going to relay to the skin. So in those little in those kits, we have the Lift, the Tone, the Eye Serum, and the Rejuvenator. The Lift is going to help more from a muscular level, kind of like a Botox, kind of with a lifting and a tightening. The tone is going to be very similar. It's going to tighten up the skin on the surface. The Eye Serum would be specifically for the eye area, for the fine lines and wrinkles, and for the dark circles as well. And the Rejuvenator is a really cool product from Victoria Deanne. It functions as a retinol without the side effects of a retinol. It goes in and tells the body to exfoliate itself faster, so you don't get those side effects from the use of those heavy retinols. Question about pregnant women. As with all products that we have, we always want to refer that back to their OBGYN. You can certainly provide your client with the information to get the sign-off from the OBGYN.
So the Pepti Lift, you can use it and recommended use morning and in the evening. All of them are so simple and easy to use. First, of course, we would cleanse our face. And Victoria Deanne has 2 different types of cleansers that can be used. These that they sent in the sample pack, the reason why they chose these 4 is because this would be something you would see results with quickly. Otherwise, the sample is really only enough to kind of see how it feels and what it smells like. But these 4 they picked because you would see results just from using this small amount. Okay, so easy enough. They're named for what they do. So if we say it's lift, it decreases the distance between the skin cells, causing a lifting and tightening effect. So it's great for saggy skin. Okay.
My favorite thing about this line is the titles. There's no fancy name because they don't need a fancy name. The title of it is Lift. That's what it does. It's cut and dry, and it tells you exactly what that product is for.
Okay. So let's put on the Lift. And you just need a little amount. You don't have to take and use the whole package in one time. Okay, so you're going to put a little bit on and you're going to apply it to the skin just like it showed in the directions, which is in with your kit. And then you guys have your little direction sheet that should have came with it too. So, am I showing it where you can see it? So we're going to take and apply a little bit of Lift. And as Stephanie always usually tells them too is, clean skin, put on one peptide, then she'll tell them, tell your client to brush your teeth, Then we're going to apply another peptide, maybe then comb your hair, then a third peptide, wait 2 minutes. So in other words, we're not just sitting there waiting for the 2 minutes, that she's telling them other things that they could do, give them suggestions to do while they're waiting for that 2 minute time in between.
And if you explain to them why it's important, like we mentioned before, they're receiving the messages one at a time so that your skin can fully process that message, they're much more likely to listen to you and do it that way. Do a serum, then brush teeth. Do another serum, put your conditioner on your hair, whatever. To incorporate it into the routine versus just slapping it on. If you explain to them why it needs that time, they'll do it.
Right. We don't want to send mixed messages.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Oh, and the rejuvenator we only use at night, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Then we have tone. Again, tone. It's an alternative to Botox, relaxes the muscles in the areas of the expression, aging, crow's feet, what we call 1s, 11s, or 111s.
So again, with the descriptive name, tone, think of muscle tone. We're toning those muscles.
Okay. Morning and evening. So this is kind of, I just thought I would throw in while we're waiting for our 2 minutes to be up. But before we do it, has it been 2 minutes before we just put on our lift?
Pretty close to it.
Okay, so we'll wait just a little, about 30 seconds more, and then we're going to put on our tone, and you're going to then apply your tone onto the skin. So I was going to just give you a little bit of history. I get a lot of phone calls, and they say, I want to learn more about, her line, Victoria.
Or serums, yeah.
So I always like to tell this story so then everybody's in the know that you really do know about the Victoria Deanne line, because there isn't really a Victoria. So little family history and how they were in Austria and then came to the United States, and basically Dean is the
product of John and Victoria and
Victoria, and Dean is the founder of Victoria Deanne. So think of it as a play on his name, Victoria, the family name, and then Dr. Dean's name. And then Mark is the one that you'll see a lot at the shows. You'll see Mark and you'll see Chuck, a lot of them at the different conferences. And Mark is the chemist in the Victoria Deanne. So that's the son of Dean. So now you have the family history and how it's a play on the name Victoria Deanne. Okay, everybody have their tone on now?
Mm-hmm.
All right, we're going on to the next one. So now we're going to talk about the eye. So the eye is great for fine lines, wrinkles, puffiness, and dark circles. So this is like one of their #1 voted on. All the peptides have won awards, but this one in particular has won the most amount of awards. And so the Victoria Deanne Eye Serum is, great for that stress, puffiness, dark circles. And I can't say enough about good things about the eye. That's one of my favorites. It's a little pat. Remember, we use our what finger to pat with, so we don't want to use our strong fingers because this is more delicate area. Okay. Anything else you'd like to say about eye? Good to go. All right, let's go to the next one.
Sorry, my husband was getting ice out of the refrigerator, so I was muting until that was over.
Oh, okay. We are all working from home.
Some things are universal. We're all experiencing the same things right now. I like to put the eye serum on under while I'm using the mini, so that I can help penetrate that down deeper. So I actually will layer the peptides with some of my at-home equipment as well.
Yes. Right. So again, I told you all the awards. They've won tons of awards throughout gosh, going back since 2016, I just pulled these up that were on there, but even more than this that they have received. And so there are more than the products that we are talking about today. And we may delve, this is just kind of a little short one because this is on basically the samples today, but just know that we can have another one later on if you guys want, and we can get more into the science of it. I'm going to try to even get Mark to come on, and possibly Chuck and Mark to come on, one of them too. So just to give you an idea, there's lift, tone, and we're going to talk about some of our favorites. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Medium Rejuvenator. And Rejuvenator is one of those products that everybody's different of whether they're going to stay on mild, medium, or ultra. Okay. The question is typically we start out with the mild. When you're finishing that one or getting close to that one, that's when you buy your next, and you would get like the medium. And then as long as the tolerance is good there, then once that one's almost empty, then you would go up to the ultra. You don't start at the ultra, but as far as on the samples, they started you in the middle with the medium. Okay. So
yeah, that was going to piggyback on that. I'm glad you mentioned that. That sample is the medium rejuvenator. So if that one, when you're using that one, if it feels a little more aggressive than what you're willing to handle, we can always go back to the mild and work your way up. You can also use the medium rejuvenator every other night if you find that tingle sensation to be a little bit intense.
Can we tell a family story on Andrea's husband?
This is a good one. Yes.
Go ahead, Andrea.
I'll take it away.
Take it away, Andrea.
So I love the Victoria Dan Lift Kit. So I started at the medium because I used the sample kit and I thought that was, fine for me. So I completed the whole kit with the medium rejuvenator, and I decided it was time to move up. And so I left the Ultra Rejuvenator on our sink in my bathroom that I share with my husband. And he was looking for lotion one day, and he just liberally just applies it all over his face. And and his face was like, he was like, what is this lotion? And he could feel the tingling and everything. And he was like, this is not lotion. This was an accident. So yeah, he just had the Ultra Rejuvenator all over his face, tingling and everything.
Bright red, he was definitely, but she's like, what lotion in the bathroom? What lotion? That one in that. Oh, and that's when she realized it was Rejuvenator.
The good news is with Rejuvenator, while it is aggressive for a very short period of time, it will subside. I promise. It's no more than a minute or two, and it's worth it. Your results the next day are incredible. You just gotta kind of settle through that pins and needles for about a minute, 30 seconds to a minute, but it's worth it. But if you're not expecting it, it can be a little jarring.
And also just keep in mind too, I always tell them to go sparingly on the Rejuvenator because some people will purge and they will come up with some little white spots. So that's why you want to say, well, get them mild to begin with. Mm-hmm. It can do that. So just so that you are aware of it, so you would be able to tell your clients that too. Okay. Mm-hmm. All righty. So we're not going to because it's not evening, so we're not going to put the Rejuvenator on now, but tonight after you cleanse the skin, you can add the Rejuvenator. Okay. All right. I put this as a Stephanie's favorite. And I know she loves it, so I put it in here specifically for her. So take it away.
If I was told that I could only have you be this one, the overall color of my skin is better. It's plumped up. I will certainly attest to the appearance of pore size. This is your go-to product. Where you sprayed the Windex all the time. This is my new Windex. This is what I use on everything. Like I said, if I could only use one product, this is what I'm going to pick every time.
I love this one. And one time Andrew was like, okay, I need you to show, it was on the Clairvoyant Mini, I need you to show them how to put it into like a rechargeable battery. And so I said, okay, I'll make you a quick little video of it. So I had the collagen gel there, so I just used it. And I mean, the results were great. So I also use it sometimes as my microcurrent gel too, just as an idea. Okay.
I actually prescribed this one, not prescribed. I recommended this one to a friend of mine, and she has one of those husbands that she could dye her hair purple and he wouldn't notice. But she used this, and she said within 2 days, even her non-observant husband had been like, "You look different." That's a pretty good testament to a product if a non-observant husband actually makes a comment about it.
All right. Yep. Victoria Deanne also makes a mask that's it is a good biocellulose mask too, using their peptide technology. So it's specifically made for them, and easy again, put on, take off onto the skin. Okay, and you can use it 2 or 3 times a week if desired. So let us know if you would like to have more detailed, more information about the Victoria Deanne, because we can set up a future Zoom meeting for that.
Just a reminder, at medspadistributors.biz, if you are a licensed professional, you can go register there. All that is set up for online ordering, as well as more information on the products. If you still have a question after that, you can email us. I'd be happy to email you. You can also call me. So any way you need me, you just let me know I'm here.
Thank you so much. You guys have a great week.